we hear, and this is all you, we hear, Jesus.
All right, folks. I found something interesting. Right now, we got a Kanye West and his problem with your king, Jesus. Uh, so let's see what he got to say. I mean, if you ain't ever think about it or ever notice, his name is Ye, uh, or Yeezy, which is for like, well, his name is Jesus, but that's that like replacement for Jesus. But that's why he made Yeezys. And if you buy Yeezys, then technically you supporting his. Hey, I'm gonna just leave it at that. But anyways, that's why you gotta know who you invest your currency in, because it's not just your currency, it's your energy. You put your time in somewhere to get paid, and that money that you have is literally your blood, sweat, and tears that you put in. Like literally, you turned your blood, sweat, and tears into the currency. So be careful who you give it to. But I'm just saying that for y'all, because me, I got a pair of Yeezys right here. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty comfortable. So I actually want some more. But necessarily, I don't really agree with everything that Kanye says. But yeah, we finna see what he got to say on this one.
This is king, we hear this, but that's all you. Then there's sometimes you just want to say, man, not fuck it, but you just want to say, man, this is what I'm feeling right now. Are you in that space where you're comfortable enough to say, this is where I am right now? I'm still a man of God. Jesus still is king, but this is vultures right now. This is where I am.
I mean,
It is, but I have my issues with Jesus. There's a lot of stuff I went through that I prayed and I didn't see Jesus show up. So I had to put my uh my
yeah.
experience in this world, my experience with my children, my experience with other people, my experience with my account, my experience with my brand, and my experience with the level of music that I was dealing with in my own hands.
Mm.
Like a lot of times I just feel like in our society in America, people, Christians, we're depend on Jesus so much that we won't put the word in ourselves. And the main
So
thing that really that I don't rock with is like, it's just always like, I'm gonna pray for you. And it's just like, you can actually physically do something yourself too,
yeah.
more than just pray. And we're so in this mentality that
So
that's all that needs to happen, but we ain't, we
and
ain't,
then the work. That's exactly what he's saying, bro. So I be saying that too. If you like, and it's just for like certain religious people. Certain religious people are so religious that they think they're above everything else. They think that they so in tune with God. Oh my God, I'm so in tune with God. First of all, you're not special because if you're special, first of all, God made everybody. So if God made you, then you're special. And if God made everybody else, then that means everybody else is special right along with you. So technically nobody's special. So same thing when it comes to how in tune you are with God. Just because you think you are more in tune with God than me or the cat or that tree, that does not mean it's true. Actually, that could mean the opposite because you're lost. You think you're more in tune with God, but you don't understand that God is in tune with everything. There is no being out of tune with God. Yeah, we're humans, so we think, oh, you have to be religious to be in tune with God. Bro, it's way more complicated than that. Like, there's no being out of tune with God. Even if you claim to be atheist, even if you don't care about God, there is no being out of tune with God. You are literally in God's realm right now as we speak. Because where the fuck were you before you were here? You were nowhere, or you were somewhere else, but you weren't here. So there is no such thing as being out of tune with God. Everything is in tune with God. If you think you are more in tune with God than me or Jeff or Sally over there, then you should probably, uh, you know, keep living your life because, yeah, the more you live, the more you learn. So
praying our way out of prison.
And I look what he said. Oh, I'm gonna go shoot somebody, and then I'm gonna find God, and then I'm gonna have God give me a slap on the wrist. Yeah, I'm gonna have God give me a slap on the wrist because I'm gonna act like I found him when I did something wrong. Bro, life is not that easy. Life is way more complicated than you actually think it is. You gotta do what's right when nobody looking first, and then expect shit to go, and still not expect shit to go right. You can't just be doing shit wrong and getting lucky, living off the seat of your pants, and then now you're in some shit. Now you're looking for a blessing. Nah, bro, you're not gonna get a blessing. You're gonna get what you deserve, but that's why you gotta do what's right when nobody's looking. But shit, be in tune with your God. Do what's right when nobody's looking. Shit, you could be as big as Ye too. I ain't gonna lie to you. Shit.
We ain't praying our way out of the abortion clinics. We ain't praying our way to get our land back that was always ours after gentrification, after the Harlem Renaissance and Black Wall Street was burned to the ground. Them prayers ain't working. We have to apply actual physical building partnerships, and it don't start unless we could really be real with each other and say, this is what I did, this is what I did. Like, I mean, look at this. I know I'm not going to third rail y'all interview, but look at the power of what happened when me and Kyrie was on the same page. See, that's what's scary. But what they do is they put us each in a silo and say, your grandmother going to lose her crib, and this going to, you know how many threats we've been dealt with? And I didn't pray my way through them threats either. I had to get up and do it myself. I had so much to do. I ain't had time to pray.
So in that scenario, that is true, because think about you being in a jungle, bro. If you are in the jungle, if you was born in the jungle, do you think you would be praying? You would not be fucking praying because you worried about, am I gonna eat today? Am I gonna get killed today? Am I gonna catch a disease today? Am I gonna be able to feed my family today? Come on, bro. So when everything is kumbaya, well, now that we live in a urban society, everything is we're not struggling like that, like how we was in the jungle when we were like cavemen and shit. So we have time. We so bored that we create philosophies and religions and shit like that. But in the end, it's just in your head. None of us here alive today has ever came in contact with Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus, Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy, none of that shit. But if I told you fucking aliens were real, you would look at me like I'm weird. But there's an infinite amount of planets out there. So it's like, really think about life to understand it more. But don't just think, oh, just because mama told me this how it is, this how it is. Nah, bro. Nah. I ain't gonna lie. Shit. The billionaires know this. They know that you are God having a human experience. That's why you can die. That's why you were born. Because if you are a God, you can create your own life. And you can also not necessarily take your own life, but get rid of life. Because after you die, you're not here no more. We could just agree on that. You're not here no more. We continue to go on, but you don't. So what that means is you have some type of play in your decision, in your fate. No matter if you can't directly control it, you have some type of influence in it. And we could agree on that because you're actually in it. Now, if we were talking about it from a third person perspective, then yeah, we could say you ain't really got no control over it. But it's your fate, literally. You know when you were born and you know when you're gonna die. Now you don't know the date, but when you're gonna die, you know it's the end of this journey. That's because you have some type of control And when you end in this journey, you're going to be okay with it because you know this was just a temporary vessel. This was just a temporary journey. You're going to have multiple temporary journeys. They're all going to be a collective of journeys. And that's what life is. It's not just one specific life. It's life. Like everything, life. And you are God and you want to experience life. But right now, currently, you are having a human experience. And shit, if you see a cat or a dog walking around, you could assume that that's a divine entity having a feline experience, or whatever, a canine experience. Or I mean, shit, the earth is alive. The trees are rooted to the earth. They're connected to the roots through the mycelium, and they're interconnected. I mean, the whole world is connected, and we live on top of that ecosystem. So everything is alive. So we could just assume that everything is God and just leave it at that. But yeah, shit. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Yeah, Kanye, even though they paint him as crazy, man, I wouldn't necessarily, you know, whatever anybody says, just take that shit with a grain of salt, do your own research, but make your own decisions. But hey, for the most part, he a successful black, man, something that I want to be. So shit, he owns some shit, and I got to give him his props for that. But yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be back in the next video, most likely with something, similar to this. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, but catch y'all on the next video, and y'all have a blessed night or a blessed day, whatever it is. Deuces.